What? That's cool. Oh wow, so now we've got a super strong stretcher or Stokes litter. This is the jaws of life.
Fan to get some air in there for us.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
I like that piece of equipment. I'm a fan. G'day kids, let's go bushwalking. We're over the edge. Woo! Woo! See you, kids. Woo! A little bit scary, I must say, but so much fun. Now, just before we get started on today's episode, kids, let me just remind you about our merch items available on our website, like our mini Aussie hat made just for kids' heads. One of my favourites, Aussie socks, with a nice little message reminding you to always stay keen. You can get yourself a sweatband, just like Aussie's, but even cooler, with Aussie's logo. Or a mini replica Aussie tee made just for you kids. Or, brand new to our website, is our personalised video message made just for you from Ozzie. Right now available on our website, aussieforkids.com.
Ozzie, 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 oi! Ozzie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of mine.
G'day kids, it's Ozzie here. I am at the Katoomba Police Station. No, I haven't done anything wrong. I have come to meet the Blue Mountains Police Rescue Team. That's right, today we are gonna have an adventure-filled episode. We're gonna check out the police rescue truck, which is just over there. We're gonna go for a bushwalk and learn all about bushwalk safety, and we might even get to go for some abseiling. Anyone out there been abseiling before? I reckon it's going to be lots of fun. Kids, let's go and see if we can find a police officer and learn all about what they do. Let's go. There it is. That is the police rescue truck and a real life police officer, a police rescue officer. Let's go and meet him.
G'day.
G'day, I'm Ozzie.
Pat, nice to meet you, Ozzie.
Nice to meet you, Pat. So you very generously have given up some of your time, and I believe you're going to take me and the kids through what you do as a job.
Absolutely.
And what you've got in this awesome truck here.
Yeah.
Well, so where do we start?
Well, let's start at the front here. This is our primary rescue truck up here at Katoomba.
Right.
And it's, for lack of a better term, it's probably a workshop on wheels.
We've got workshop on wheels. Now that sounds fun.
Pretty much everything you could think of. We've got a tool for basically any way that someone might need some help.
Okay.
We've got something to be able to help them.
All right, so let's rewind a little bit. So you are a police officer, but you're not just any police officer.
That's right.
You are a police rescue officer. Is that right?
That's right, yeah.
Okay, so what is your job? What is your different to what you do to a normal police officer?
So we're still regular police.
Yeah.
But we undergo some specialist training to be able to get into rescue.
Okay.
And our job up here is basically anytime anyone gets trapped or stuck or needs some help, that's our job. That's where we go and help them. So that might be anything from a car crash to someone getting lost in the bush.
Right.
Even on the cliffs and things like that, we'll go and help them.
Absolutely. So police officers are always about helping the community, right?
That's right.
So in your instance, you will help people, say if they're out in a bushwalk and they might get themselves lost, they might fall over and hurt themselves.
Yep.
That's where you guys can come in.
That's right.
And you've got all this special equipment to help get them out of the danger they've got themselves
Exactly.
into. Amazing.
Yep.
What an important and really cool job. I reckon your days would be quite different and varied, right?
Yeah, I've got a very special job. I love doing it.
Amazing. Well, why don't you show me some of these amazing tools here?
All right, so in this locker we've got it's just a wide range of different tools. So you can see in here we've got
Look at this.
they roll out. Just a regular old toolbox here with different different things in there.
Yeah, lots of different tools.
Anything.
Like you'd be a mechanic almost. Look,
Pretty much,
these
yeah.
Little sockets. Very cool.
So if we have to take something apart, something mechanical, we can
Yeah.
use some of these tools to do
So
that.
you're almost like a mechanic. I'm going to tick off all the different
Yeah,
jobs
okay.
you guys are good at.
We've got an electric chainsaw.
Chainsaw.
Yeah, we've got a couple of those.
Right, so you're like a tree lopper.
Yep, sometimes.
All right, so a mechanic and a tree lopper. All right, what other jobs are we doing here?
We've got some other little power tools in here. So we've got a reciprocating saw,
That's a big
angle
word.
grinder, all of those kind of things in there as well.
Oh, look at that. Oh, that's yep, okay, so that's to cut things.
Yep.
That looks like it's pretty dangerous and you want to make sure that you know how to use that.
Absolutely.
Probably wear some safety gear, I would imagine.
Absolutely.
Yep. So what are these things called? Are these called lockers, like on the
Yes.
fire trucks and other big trucks that you see?
Yeah, basically the same.
Yeah, cool.
They're just lockers just to help us kind of keep things organised.
Organised.
Yeah.
So that when you're in an emergency, you know exactly where to go.
That's right. You don't
So
want
you've
to
gotta have a system, right?
You don't want to be thinking, oh, where's that bit of kit when I need it?
Organisation is key.
When the pressure's on.
Of course.
Yep. So in this locker, we've got all of our vertical rescue equipment.
Vertical. So vertical is
Up and down.
up and down.
Yeah.
Horizontal is flat, sideways. Up and down is vertical.
That's
okay,
right.
so where would you use this stuff?
So if we have to access somewhere that is down the bottom of a cliff or up somewhere very high,
Right.
then we've got all of the equipment to be able to do that.
Okay.
So we've got a few hundred meters of rope
Wow.
in here.
So you can get really far down.
Yes, that's
Wow,
right.
okay.
Yeah, we have some pretty big cliffs up here.
I
so-
imagine, yes.
yeah.
Blue Mountains is in Australia. It's just west of Sydney and it's got some huge, huge mountains. Even one part of the Blue Mountains is called the Grand Canyon, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
So it's like the Grand Canyon in America, but it's in Australia.
Just full of trees.
Full of trees.
Yeah.
That's right. All right, so this is half a stretcher.
Yeah, so this is called a Stokes litter. And
The SES use the same thing.
That's
Stokes
right.
litter.
Yep.
Very good.
Yep.
And so how does it work?
very commonly used bit of equipment.
Yeah, okay.
And ours is pretty cool because it does fold down like this.
Very
So we
clever.
can store it away. It's very lightweight
Yeah,
as well.
right.
So if we have to carry it somewhere, then we can do that pretty easily.
Perfect.
So the straps basically hold it together a little bit while we're storing it. We can pull it apart like that, lay it out.
Super clever. Look at
Let's
this.
see how it locks in like this.
Wow, look at that. That's a
Locks
pretty
in.
clever design, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And then as we come down, we bring these across,
Let me get
just
this
like
side
that.
for you, Pat.
Thank you.
Look at that. Oh wow, so now we've got a super, super strong
Super strong,
stretcher or Stokes litter.
super lightweight.
And lightweight.
Yeah,
Strong, lightweight, sturdy, clever, because it comes in two pieces.
yeah,
Easy for storage.
perfect.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
How clever are the police?
So in here,
Oh, look at these things.
we've got our hydraulic road crash rescue tools.
No way.
Yeah.
Look how big they are. And so how do they work?
So if you've ever heard someone refer to like the jaws of life,
This is a jaws of
yeah,
life.
that's right. That's another name for it.
Right.
So we just switch it on. It's all battery operated.
Yeah.
You turn the handle, and it opens up. It opens up a long way.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's still, wow. Okay,
Yeah.
so it started out pointy and it's
Yeah.
gone really wide. So where would you use something like that?
So anytime, this tool right here, we call this It is the jaws of life.
Yeah.
But it's actually called a spreader.
Okay.
And so what we'll use that for is anytime we have to maybe move something, so spread something apart.
Yeah. Pull
So
something apart.
if
Yeah.
there's been a car crash or something and we need to get a door open, we can
Okay.
use it for that.
Wow.
We can also use it to pinch as well. So if we have
Push
to
things together.
push things together,
So
exactly.
you can go in reverse and make these come
Yep.
back the other way. Wow.
Just like that. Do you want to have a turn?
Wow. All right. So
Go
what do
for
I
it.
need to do?
So one hand on the handle,
Yeah.
up here, and then
Oh, it's heavy.
yeah, it's,
And then I twist it. Is
Yep.
that right? Oh, okay. So I'm spreading,
yep. There you go.
and now I'm pinching.
That's right. So you felt it's
Wow.
got two different speeds,
It does,
so we can
yeah.
go nice and slow if we need
Yeah.
to, or we can go quickly if we need
Nice
to.
and slow, or super speed, or super speed.
That's right.
Oh, so you have to be pretty strong to do this job, because I don't imagine I could hold that up there for very long.
Yeah, it's pretty heavy.
So you guys use this tool. Firefighters would use a similar tool.
That's right.
Yeah, so it's pretty versatile across the rescue areas.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where do I put it?
You just put it down there. So we've got a few different tools in here.
Okay.
So those are the spreaders.
That's the spreader. This one looks a bit sharper.
Yes. So we call these cutters or shears.
Okay.
And as you said,
So I could trim the hedge with that.
yeah, it'll do a pretty good job.
And you want to keep your fingers well and truly
You want to
clear
keep
of that.
everything well clear of this.
Yeah.
So you can see it close up. And we can use this to cut things.
That's a beast.
Yeah.
That's a proper beast.
Yeah.
So you could cut anything that would fit inside that.
Basically.
That's
yeah.
right. So like
Yeah.
a tree. You just cut a tree.
Probably not for wood, it's more for metal.
Okay.
Definitely for, if we have to cut something off a car, so cut a door off or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So super strong. All right, so we've got different stretcher.
Different stretcher.
I've got a fan.
Big fan up there, so
Yep.
if we have to maybe go into some kind of hole in the ground, like
Yep.
if we have to go into a drain or a pipe or something like that, we might use the fan to get some air in there for
Right,
us.
okay. I like that piece of equipment. I'm a fan. Can I jump in?
Jump in, please.
Wow. Oh, I feel so tall up here. On a nice spongy,
I
cushy
know, it's
seat.
pretty comfortable.
Yeah, like the fire truck I've been in.
Yeah.
Yeah, really cool. All right, so I noticed you got lots of screens up here. That's so you can watch probably 3 different episodes of Ozzie at the same
All
time.
at once, yep.
Yep, of course. No, that's obviously not what it's for. So what do you use the screens for?
Okay, so this screen that you see at the top there.
This one? This
Yep,
one?
That one there.
Yeah.
This one is for looking at the jobs that come in. So we can log in, and as the jobs come through, so if someone rings 000 and they put the job through, they'll put it over the radio, but it'll come up on the screen as well.
Right.
So we can see the details, so we can see where it is, who's called and what they need. The one underneath that, so this guy down here, this one
wow.
operates all of the lights, the work lights on the truck.
Oh, of course. Okay.
So again, if we're working at night and we get the truck nice and close to whatever the job is, we can use that screen to turn on the different lights around the truck.
Okay.
And that'll help us to see what we're doing.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent.
So up here,
What do we got here?
this controls the red and blue lights and the siren.
Of course, it is a police truck after all.
Yes, it
so
is.
when you're driving to respond to an incident, you need to drive under lights and
Yeah.
sirens, right?
Yeah, that's right. So if we have to get somewhere in a hurry, we need to get people to move out of our way.
Yeah.
So we'll turn the lights and sirens on,
Yeah.
and hopefully they'll move out of the way and let us get there quicker.
Yeah.
So
Excellent.
if you press that big red button up there,
What's going to happen? Am I allowed to press it?
let's find out.
What?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So that turns all of the red and blue lights on around the truck,
Yep.
and it turns the siren on as well.
Yeah, I can hear that. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yep. So if you press that again, changes the siren tone.
Okay,
you
so
hear
why
that?
would you have 2 different sirens?
We have 2 different sirens to just get more attention.
Right.
So if people are driving along and maybe they haven't heard us or seen us, then if we change the frequency of the siren,
Yeah.
it kind of gets their attention.
Right.
Yeah.
They might not hear the other one, and then this one's a bit more aggressive.
That's
and they
right.
Can hear it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I press it again.
And if you press that green button, there it goes.
That turns it off.
Turns
Okay.
it
So
off.
we've just arrived. We're good to go.
Yeah.
Excellent. Amazing. I think there's only one thing left to do, Pat.
What's
Do
that?
you reckon we could go for a little drive in this?
I think we could do that.
Amazing. All right. I'll probably let you drive. I'm going to go sit over there.
Sounds good. Let's
Great.
do it.
G'day kids, let's go bushwalking. Okay Pat, so not going to go for a huge bushwalk today, just a short one.
Yeah, just a little one.
I've packed a few things in my bag, but what would you recommend usually when you're heading out on a bushwalk?
Well, it's important to take enough water.
Yes.
Maybe
Check.
some food as well.
Check.
Yep.
I've got those two things, so
Excellent.
that's good. Yep.
Maybe some clothing as well, depending on what the weather conditions might be. So something to keep you dry, something
Right.
to keep you warm,
Yeah, okay.
something even to keep the sun off you. If it's gonna be a really hot day.
Okay, all right, so let's just check those things out. I've got my hat, got my that's going to keep the sun off me.
Yep.
I've already put some sun cream on because,
Perfect.
you know, you've got to protect your skin. I've got a jumper in
Yep.
my bag, or a sweater for our friends in other parts of the world to keep me warm if the weather does turn. But what about where we're heading? I mean, I don't really know this track too well, but I am going to meet some friends down there later.
Yeah.
But what about planning for the day?
Yeah, that's really important too, Ozzie. So it's great to plan out where you're going to go.
Yep.
So know your route before you go out. And you know, that might be in the form of having a look online to see if there are any track notes or anything like that.
Yep.
Having a map as well.
Right.
That's pretty helpful sometimes too. All of those kind of things. So it's really important to just know where you're going before you commit to doing it.
Yeah, excellent. What other things do
Yep.
we need to be conscious of?
So even taking things like a first aid kit is really helpful too. So
That's a good idea.
you know, to be able to help someone if something unexpected does happen.
Yep.
It's important to let somebody know where you're going to. Of
course.
So if you're going for a bushwalk, let somebody know which bushwalk you're gonna be doing.
Yeah.
So if something does happen, they can help us to be able to find you.
Right, of course. That really is a beautiful part of the world up here.
It really is.
What are other things that we need to be mindful of when we're out in the bush? What about, you know, wildlife?
Yeah, you might come across some wildlife if you're going out for a bushwalk.
Yeah.
And that could be anything from, you know, like wallabies and kangaroos, depending on where you are.
Yeah.
Birds, obviously, right through to things like snakes and spiders.
Right.
Yep.
So what happens if we do see a snake on the trail?
Best to just leave it alone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're not.
Let it do its thing. It's in its
just let it
natural
do its
habitat,
thing.
right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you stop and you leave it alone, then it'll leave you alone. Absolutely.
Yeah, great. What happens if we do get bitten by a snake? Can we call you guys?
Yeah, absolutely. So that'd definitely be a case where you'd want to call.
Yeah.
For emergency services.
Okay.
You can do some first aid. So like we talked about with your first aid kit.
Yep.
Most of them have a snake bite bandage in them these days.
Yeah, of course.
So you can use that pressure immobilization technique, they call it.
Yeah.
Once that's done, then we'll come out and we'll help you.
Awesome. That's really cool. Kids, check this out. We're up in the Blue Mountains, and this is just a beautiful, beautiful little spot in New South Wales, and a perfect place for a bushwalk and to learn the right way to go about
Absolutely.
bushwalking. Pat is going to show us how to abseil. Pat, what's abseiling?
Sometimes referred to as abseiling, sometimes called rappelling, depending on where you're from.
No.
It's basically, we're gonna get on rope and we're gonna go down that big cliff there.
We're gonna go over the edge.
That's right.
All right, so I'm gonna have to be really brave. I think that I've chosen a pretty good person to teach me how to abseil today. Why is abseiling so important in your role at the police rescue?
So part of our job is vertical rescue
Right.
in the mountains. So that basically means that if anyone needs help, like a rock climber, for example, they might get stuck or they might hurt themselves.
Yep.
The only way to access them is to get on rope and to abseil.
Right.
That's why we do it.
Okay, very good. And then how do you get them out if they're in a bit of trouble? Or do
so-
you help them down and then walk out, mate?
It depends.
Right.
It depends. We've got some pretty big cliffs up here, so sometimes, depending on where they're situated, where they are, we might bring them back up if that's easier.
Yeah.
Sometimes we might take them down further and maybe get a helicopter to come in and help us, all
Wow.
those kind of things. So it really depends.
Okay, very
Yeah.
good. And you said a really good thing there before, vertical,
Up and down.
up and down, vertical, horizontal is flat. So we're going up and down, which means we're going over the edge and down.
That's right.
All right, should we get into it?
Let's do it.
Let's go. All right, Pat, so I noticed that you've got some really cool equipment on. Do I get to wear some of that as well?
Yes, absolutely. So we're going to put a harness on, and that's
cool,
going to
the
keep us
harness.
safe when we go over the edge. So
Brilliant.
I've got one here for you.
Perfect.
So all you're going to do is just step one foot in there
Right.
and one foot in the other side. Excellent. And now you're going to reach down, grab it, and pull it up around your waist. There's lots of things to get caught on. So
Putting on a pair of shorts.
that's right. Okay. So we're going to grab there and pull it to the front to keep it nice and tight. Nice and snug. That's it. Then we can do up the leg loops. So you'll see there, they clip together.
Okay.
Yep, just like that. Perfect. And again, you're going to pull that nice and snug, both legs. Beautiful. And the last thing is we're going to bring this up and over your head, just like that.
Ooh.
We call this a full body harness because it goes over your entire body.
Right, I've worn ones that just go around the waist before, but this one goes right up over the shoulders.
That's right.
Bit more security in these ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. And then we've got some chest straps there as well. We can do that up nice and tight. There we go.
Cool.
We're locked in.
All right,
And we're going to put our helmets on.
helmets on. I'm feeling safe. How do I look?
Perfect. Looks like you're good to go.
All right, let's go over the edge. Gloves, helmet, harness. What else have we got?
Pretty much there. So we've got a couple of extra gadgets here, which are going to help us. This one helps us descend the rope, so it helps us go down the rope.
Okay.
And this one is just a backup.
Right.
So if anything was going to go wrong, that guy there's going to catch you.
Perfect.
And you're not going to fall.
Okay, so I'm very, very safe.
Very safe.
Okay. All right, so there's lots and lots of ropes, lots of knots, lots of carabiners.
Yep.
Lots of fun.
Lots of fun.
All right. All right, Pat, you've just put me into this harness and all of these special things here.
Yep.
I'm standing right next to the edge, but I'm feeling pretty safe.
I'm glad.
So can you talk me through what I'm supposed to do when I go over the edge?
Absolutely. So you'll see we've got two ropes set up for you.
Yeah.
So we've got what we call a main line, which is the one that we're going to be putting our weight on.
Yep.
And the other one is just a backup. So if
Okay.
anything went wrong, you're going to be completely safe.
Perfect, good to know.
Yep. So this right here is called a Petzl ID.
Okay.
And it's basically, it's going to allow you to slowly descend down the rope. or
Right,
slowly
okay.
go down the rope.
Right.
So all you have to do is, exactly like you're doing, you're going to hold the rope
Yep.
in one hand, and with your other hand, you're going to manage this little lever here.
Right.
So if you put your hand on that,
Yep.
and you pull down, lean back a little bit, and it's going to come through a little bit. Yep.
So I think I've got the hang of how to feed the rope through.
Great.
What do I do with my feet and my body position as I'm going down?
That's a really good question, Ozzie. So just keep your feet about shoulder width apart.
Yep.
Kind of nice bent knees just to keep some balance.
Okay.
And it's as simple as you're just going to walk down the cliff face.
Yeah, and just lean back the whole
Just
time.
lean back.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm ready to go when you are.
Looks like you're all over it. So let's do it.
All right, we're over the edge. Woo! Woo! See you, kids.
This is a good speed. Cool.
Walking down a wall. I'm feeling in very safe hands. Woo! How cool is that? Woo! This is so much fun. Oh, it's unreal, Pat.
I'm glad.
Not a bad place to hang out. And up I come. A little bit scary, I must say, but so much fun. That's fun.
I'm
Tell
glad.
you what, mate, this is a very, very nice office. I know you don't get to spend all of your days doing this. Your days are varied, but the days you do get to spend doing this,
Pretty special.
very, very lucky indeed.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, thanks very much for showing me the ropes, so to speak.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Oh, I certainly have. Hopefully you've enjoyed today's episode. I have had an absolute ball. A massive thank you to the Police Rescue, particularly to Pat and to Gray. Thank you again.
Anytime.
Kids, we'll see you on another brand new episode of Ozzie this Sunday. Until then, stay keen, stay safe. I'm going down again. If you haven't already, make sure you get a grown-up to help you hit that subscribe button. That way you won't miss out on any of the new and exciting videos that we put out. Speaking of new and exciting, if there's a video that you'd love to see Ozzie do, make sure you send us a message on our socials, on Facebook or Instagram at Ozzie for Kids. We'll see you again soon, kids. And until then, stay keen. Oh, and by the way, did you happen to find the hidden Ozzie icon in that video? Yeah, make sure you look closely because they're in every single video. That's right. Stay keen, kids.
Ozzie, 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 oi! Ozzie is a friend of yours and he's a friend of